Yes, and here we are with this episode's installment of Automate That. I am joined, as always, by Cody Lindley, ActiveCampaign Marketplace Manager. Cody, how are you today?
Oh, Ernie, I'm doing awesome today. I'm really excited. We're excited to talk about what we've got in the kitchen.
Yes, Cody, you look a little different. You look like your beard, maybe there has been some sort of integration with like a razor in your face recently. It's sort of,
Yeah. You know how messy and unkempt my beard was? I decided I want to do something about it. So I got that integration and now it's flowing, smooth, and professional.
I love it. What do you have for us today?
Well, it's not just one automation recipe, but I hope you still find it appetizing. And I hope that it tastes into great.
Okay, before this gets any further out of hand, let's get into this.
I love puns.
All right, here we go. Automate That. Usually the Active Campaign recipe show. However, today Cody's got something special cooking for us in the kitchen. Here we are, and you can see now this previous image of Cody's beard, which now looks, as he said, smooth operational now. All right, automation recipe of the week, but not quite the reveal. What do you have for us?
Oh, we're
Integrations.
talking integrations today.
All right, let's get into it here, Cody.
Yeah, so what are integrations? Well, an integration is a connection between two platforms, but obviously, specifically on today's show, we'll be talking about ActiveCampaign and another platform or tool you use. It's used to send information or trigger actions in one or both platforms. We have a couple of examples here. For instance, Calendly can be used to trigger automations when an appointment is made, or perhaps you are syncing contacts and leads between Microsoft Dynamics and ActiveCampaign. Real quick call out too before we get too further in, because we're going to be talking about them throughout the day. We also have a category of CX apps, with the integration being natively stored within the ActiveCampaign platform, providing easy setup and seamless connection.
So those are built right into the platform.
Those are built right in the platform. We've actually shown you right in the platform where you can find some of them later, but you might have already seen them. We have some import export ones in our contact section, and then the ones we're looking at today, because my forte, we're looking at that automation section.
Love it. Seamless experience, getting the data you need into the platform that you need it in. Okay, moving on here. What are we looking at here, Cody?
So you can find apps in the platform. It's the two square looking icon towards the bottom, but we want to talk about the place where you can find the most information about apps at a glance, and that is the apps marketplace. We have it linked at the top and the bottom because it is that important. You want to be checking it out. It's your one-stop integration listing shop. There are over 850 integrations segmented by category, such as CMS or CRM, developers tools that you can go and find. You can search for tools you're already using to see if you should be integrating today, or if you're looking at, I know I need another CRM, you can start looking and see how the connection works and which one's going to do the exact thing you want. In fact, a real quick thing I want to call out, we definitely encourage you to look at tools and look at the integration, because you don't want to assume what an integration can do and then find out it doesn't quite do that. Save yourself the heartbreak. Make sure you're going in with the right thing, because there's probably an integration that does exactly what you want. And we'll talk about a way later on that even if it doesn't, you can set it up probably to get it done that way.
Yeah, it's a great call out, because, we have talked about that throughout the course of this episode. How much significance or weight should you put on when you're evaluating a new tool, its ability to integrate. And so it's not just the ability to integrate with your existing tools, but actually what does that integration entail? So great call out there, and certainly a place where you can see all about it here. Let's get a little further into the marketplace. What are we looking at here?
Now we're looking at an app listing. First, most important, description of the app and breakdown of what the integration does. Usually the first section is going to talk about the tool itself, kind of let you know about it. And then those next two paragraphs are going to be, here's how they play together, here's what happens, here's the information sent across. Two very important links exist right there under the logo. As you can see, it's going to be a link to the app's website. That's where you're going to get a lot of helpful information. And then help documents for the integration. Now, if that is something that our team has built, it'll be help documents that lead to our site. If that is something the app team of that tool has built, you'll go to their site. And then, of course, if it is a third-party connection like a Zapier, that'll actually take you to there, so you can figure out how to set it up. We want to make sure you're getting the best information you need about this integration. Also includes use cases of the functionality. Think of them as little elevator pitches of the things you can look forward to doing. It's great. Images and setup videos, very helpful right below the fold of the page, and related resources. Maybe you know that you need to connect Thinkific, but then you look down and we've got a couple of blog posts and maybe a training video about being an e-course with ActiveCampaign. We want to make sure, like we said, all the information on this page is serving you and your business.
Love that. Cody, I have one question here. So in this image on the right, it looks like there's a couple of bubbles. One says custom, one says one way. Can you walk us through those and what they mean?
Yeah, so what that's going to indicate is the custom is going to be kind of who owns the integration. Custom means that the tool itself, that team has built out and maintains the integration between ActiveCampaign and their tool. Native means that our team has built it out, or it is a CX app that is maintained within our ecosystem. And then, of course, Zapier is going to indicate any third-party connection service that just exists to connect to apps. One way and two way, you can think about it simply. One way means one of the platforms is sending information to the other. Could be ActiveCampaign to the tool. It could be the tool to ActiveCampaign, but it doesn't flow both ways. Two way obviously just means information is sent and synced between both platforms.
Awesome. So those bubbles are going to change in, specificity with what the integration with that particular app actually does. Awesome.
Exactly, Ernie.
All right, moving on. How do we found the app that we want? It does what we need it to do. How do we connect them?
Well, there's 4 primary ways this is going to happen because it depends on the integration itself. The first one's going to be in ActiveCampaign itself. Those are those native apps we talked about. In the other platform, there'll usually be a section called integrations where you'll be able to set that up. A third-party connector like Zapier, as we referred to. And then, of course, the fourth one is kind of a website plugin. You're thinking about your WordPress. Usually you'll take a block of code of some sort and then post it on the code of your page, and that will load in that integration. Those are the 4 main ways. Sometimes there might be a little bit of something else, but these are the main ones. But here's the one thing you will likely need: your API URL and key. So we wanted to point out where you can find it in the platform. If you're looking at this image on the right, you're going to click on the settings icon, which is that little, cog, and right above it is that apps icon we talked about earlier, the 2 squares. That's where you can find apps in platform. But once you're in settings, you're going to click on developer. You're going to see the API and key listed here, API URL and key, pardon me. That's, if something asks for that, that's what's going to tell it, this is my ActiveCampaign account. You can reset it, but you can't type or anything on it. So you're just copying and pasting. The reset's just on the off chance that for some reason the integration got updated and it broke or something. You just need to reset it and reconnect it. And then when in doubt, this is what we're always going to tell people. Remember to check the help link on the app listing. That's going to tell you how you're going to actually set up that connection.
Love it. And then here I see on the right, the developer resources. So we did talk a little bit about custom API integrations. If you have to build something, a call and receive or whatever that might be yourself. Is that what I'm looking at here on the right side?
Yes, we talked about it earlier. This is going to be, if you have a developer in-house or you're working with maybe a consultant or an outside developer to make the bridge between the tools exactly what you want, here's where they can find all that helpful information. Our API calls, how you build them out, how you can create that seamless experience. I'm sure you've talked about our open API throughout this episode of Growth Decoded. That amazing open API is what allows even just any developer to build between 2 powerful tools, ActiveCampaign and whatever tool you're using.
Love it. Awesome. Okay. Moving on. Let's talk about triggers. How do we actually use this stuff to build automations?
Yeah, let's look at our CX app. So if you're going to automations, if you click on the CX apps in triggers, it'll pull up all of our triggers that you can use. As you can see, we got Typeform, Calendly, PayPal, a lot of different ones right here. Now, these are going to be, they're automation triggers. Simple as that. When a contact takes the action, the rest of that blueprint is going to play out, the rest of that automation or recipe. Versus, next slide, Ernie, if you don't mind.
Oh, there we go.
Our automation actions. Again, CX apps is what that is listed as. These are the actions that are going to occur. Now, why a trigger still usually does have to happen of some sort, maybe they subscribe to your list or something. This is, and let me just say we have a bunch of them. These aren't even all the ones listed. I couldn't get a full screenshot of all of them. So go check them out for yourself in the automation section. But these are actions that will actually fire off and do things. And, it's not just a collection. It's actually, now we're actually doing the things in the automation.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this. This is where it's really going to pay those dividends, right? When you link those two tools together, something happens in another platform, and then that triggers something to happen in ActiveCampaign or even in a different platform, a third platform.
Yes, exactly.
Seems like the options here are pretty extensive, if you will. But if we move in here, do we have recipes for this?
Oh, Ernie, would we be on the show if we didn't? Of course, we have automation recipes for this. We have a variety of recipes that use one or more integrations for you to see the power of the connection quickly and common use cases so you don't even have to build it out yourself. Feel free to check out our marketplace linked here for ideas on how to use these for your business. We even have some recipes to connect two platforms together using an active campaign, sometimes with active campaign actions and sometimes just between two platforms. For example, we have a very powerful one called send Slack notification when Calendly appointment is canceled. When that date field is erased, meaning that they no longer are, they've canceled that appointment with you, if it's 5 minutes before or if it's 2 days before, send that quick Slack notification to let you know, hey, that appointment was canceled. Maybe even a notification so you also have it in your email with follow-up steps right there. You can really just, I can't even express what the level of, we always say automation recipes, boom, automate your business. Add in all your other tools. It's so powerful. That's my noise for when things are powerful.
That's a good, powerful noise. I like
You.
that a lot. But yeah, I mean, throughout the course of this episode, we're focusing on how do integrations help you get the data that you need into the right place that you're looking for it to improve the customer experience and grow your business. And, using 2, 3, 4 different tools where, like you're saying, if an appointment gets canceled, you could send an email to someone with ActiveCampaign. You could send a Slack message to yourself, notifying the person who is supposed to hold up that meeting. It just really simplifies everything, saves time, and makes it so that you don't have to go searching for all of this information in various different places. But if you set it up the right way, it will just show you the information in places that you're already looking.
Yep. And Ernie, a real quick call out. I'm a big advocate. Probably my catchphrase on this show is, automations. I think of them as Christmas lights. You can build out as many actions as you want in one automation, have it all fire off. But I always recommend have a very specific thing you want that automation to do. Not just one action, but it's not trying to do everything all at once. That's when things get messy, especially if you're adding goals and things. You want it to be crisp, clean, make sense. That way, no matter what, everything goes exactly as you have planned.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no limit to the number of automations that you can build. So building modularly just makes it that much easier to pinpoint where things are going wrong and know exactly where to fix it or how to fix it if it goes wrong. So I love that, the Christmas lights analogy. All right, Cody, what else do integrations let us do here?
Just a quick recap. We've talked a lot about it, but first and foremost, they connect your pre-existing and new tools together with ActiveCampaign to create a truly seamless experience. This next point, huge for me, manage your contacts and data all in one place. I have 1,000, 1,000,000 tabs up in it all at once. Instead of having your CRM, your appointment service, your forms, and then ActiveCampaign, just be able to look at a contact at a glance and know the data in all of your platforms, which is so powerful. And then our favorite on the show, last but not least, trigger important actions, follow-ups, and syncs between platforms to keep automating your business. We always say, your business should be running while you're asleep. And that's what we help you do here with automations.
Yeah, absolutely. Save time, let it run while you're asleep, and then avoid that human error. I mean, if you're transferring data from one platform to another, from one place to another, make sure that all that information maps to exactly where it needs to go. It maps exactly as it's supposed to be typed or input, and you avoid the possibility of having any sort of human error there.
Exactly. Ernie, I always like to think of automations as a way to provide a human touch without providing the human error,
You're just, wow. I think we should just leave it right there.
I think we got to leave it right there.
Cody, thank you as always for your insight, for your input, and for your puns.
Of course. Have a great day, Ernie. It was great. And all of you out there as well, have a great day. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Hi, thank you for watching. If you are enjoying Growth Decoded, you can find a link in the description to sign up and join the Grow team. You'll get exclusive content and opportunities that have to do with the show. You can also hit the subscribe button for ActiveCampaign's YouTube channel somewhere down here, and you will never miss an update from us.